7 minutes 40 seconds. Why is that time important? Well, if you look at the lap times for the 13 and a bit miles of the famous Nürburgring on Wikipedia, like I did yesterday, you'll see some fabulous cars. Lamborghini Murcielago, Porsche 997 Gen 2 GT3, a Porsche 911 Turbo S, McLaren SLR, and even a 2005 Bugatti Veyron. And then, sandwiched between these exotic supercars, there's a Renault Megane. Welcome to this week's video. I'm lucky enough to get the keys to this wonderful Renault Megane RS Trophy-R and ask the question, how has this car gone round the famous Nürburgring in 7 minutes 40 seconds? Front-wheel drive hot hatchers have been going up in power almost year by year. 15-20 years ago, 200 brake horsepower was the value. Then it was 250, then 300, and now it's 350 or more. It's almost the race to the top. Build the most powerful engine, put the most powerful engine in the hot hatch. But Renault, with this 4th generation Megane, decided not to do that. Under the bonnet lies a very modest 4-cylinder 1.8 turbo, producing 300 PS or 296 brake horsepower. So, in modern day terms, it's actually a very modest power output. We know Renault have been the kings of handling for the last 20 years, but how has this car done so well? Well, one of the key features is weight, or I should say, lack of it. You see, on the Renault have gone and done absolutely everything possible to take weight off this car. The key feature, a 4-door car that has no rear seats. Glass that's thinner. In fact, on the inside, you can't even lower the windows, because if you need that, it means you need a motor. And that would add unnecessary weight. All the Trophy-Rs were manual because the semi-automatic gearbox was heavier. At the back, there's a full titanium exhaust. And at the front, the bonnet is fully carbon. Even the Renault badge was hollowed out, all to save weight. So, about limited numbers. You see, there's not enough of these in the UK to have one of these in every English county. There's only 30 to 32 in the UK. An incredibly low number means they're incredibly rare cars. I never really liked the 4th generation Megane. It's a 4-door French hatchback, but until you see one in person, they are just incredibly brilliant cars. Choice of colour, well, was okay as long as you wanted white with red decals, because that's all they came in. Fully adjustable O'Hins suspension, Brembos on the front. This is on its road tyres, which are Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, which is the sort of the go-to brand. In the back, this is where the rear seats would normally be, and actually all the harness is here now for a spare set of wheels, track wheels, to go in. They can all get strapped in place. And then for everyday practicality, they have normal seat belts, but when you want to fit the full 4-point harness, they can fit through the front Recaros as well and get latched in at these attachments in the back. At the back, you've got the full titanium Akrapovic exhaust and this rear carbon diffuser. A little bit difficult to see. Just looks so menacing. And then the stance from the back of the car. Inside, just the modern day touches of a 4th generation Megane. This is pretty standard. One of the minor upgrades is the CAE shifter, which is quite a common upgrade on Meganes anyway. And then as you look across, you see these wonderful Alcantara or suede Renault Sport Recaro seats. Look absolutely fantastic. And the ability to have normal seat belts plus the 4-point harness when you need it for the track work. Outstanding. And then in the door panels, these carbon door panels. For as much as you look and touch and feel the Trophy-R, in truth, it's not about the way it looks, it's all about the way it drives. So let's take this Trophy-R out on some raw roads and see what makes this car so special. So, my first ever drive in a Renault Megane RS Trophy-R. So excited. The only thing the owner's done with this car, well, two things. One, he bought it actually second hand. The CAE shifter was already fitted. But actually this owner's got an R26R as well, and he's got a 0.1 shifter. But this one's a CAE, so adds to the experience. But also he's got this extension here, because what he was finding is that the steering wheel just couldn't quite get the right driving position. So I'm 6 foot and the steering wheel's right up front. Got the dial, which is just a massive rev counter, and it's just the burble of the exhaust. Because there's no rear seats, you can hear that burble. There's an RS drive switch through, which I'll make to heighten the throttle response, heighten the mapping, and hear sort of popping and banging from the exhaust as well. It's just so excited. Feels absolutely great. Just make sure everything's flipping perfect, and it is. And here we go then. This, yeah. First drive out. On the road, I don't know. So that's the only negative, I suppose. And off we go then. So, driving position feels absolutely fantastic. You feel sort of sat back and down, and the steering wheel light up close, just the way you want it. That CAE shifter's really sweet as well. I think what I love about cars like the Trophy-R is the extreme nature that car manufacturers have gone to. It would have been so much easier for Renault to put a more powerful, bigger, more powerful engine, give it more power. They didn't do that. They did, you could argue, the hard thing, taking weight out of a hatchback. So all the weight savings that we talked about saves 130 kilograms of weight. That's a lot of weight. And right down to, I mean, not having the electric windows in the back. It's just having the thinner glass. It's saving such a small amount. I'm not in sport at the moment, just getting used to the car, but that rasp from the engine. Brakes, fucking hell. Brakes are, forgive my language there, brakes are Really, really sharp. Just slow through this village. What I'll do, I'll just press RS, so this puts it in sport mode, the dash all lights up in red, and this just gives it more of a sort of throttle mapping, a lot of popping and banging now from the exhaust, and I'll just give it a quick squirt up this hill now here. So we just sat at sort of 30 miles an hour, second gear, and then just, oh! Oh, brilliant. I mean, oh, the pop in there. Oh, absolutely fantastic. The car just wants to go. Oh, the popping of the exhaust again. Just got to be careful. We're in at 50 now. And what is this car like on track? It's big. That's what it's designed for, and you just think with the track bias, track cars are normally not great road cars, but I'll tell you something, this feels flipping brilliant. Feels on edge, feels just like it's ready to go. Badly surface road here, and it's just ticking along nicely. It's definitely track orientated, without any shadow of doubt. But does it feel special? Absolutely. This is the equivalent of the Porsche RS models. This is a stripped out racer, and I thank you, Renault, for building cars like this, because these are special cars, and I just hope this owner uses this car. It's got 12,000 miles on. Chapeau to you, because that's what we want. We want people to use these cars. I don't want these 32 cars that come to the UK to be squirreled away in garages for collectors. That would just be a misjustice to the automotive industry, to petrolheads like you and I. We want these cars to exist for the very reason that they are so special. I want to see them at track days. Burst of acceleration, you lift off, the popping, the banging, but yet you can switch it off, go into normal eco mode. The owner reckons you can get high 30s MPG on a long run. That's outstanding. Yes, it might only return 8 or 9 on track, but it's great. The way they've designed this car for track, the warranty's supported through track work. All the harnesses ready for a spare set of track wheels, and my only disappointment is I'm on public roads having to drive to public speeds, and you just think that I just want a clear, twisty bit of road where you can really open this car up. And these cars hit the press because at the time, what the press did, they put on every single option, and the famous one was the 12 grand for the carbon wheels and the 3 grand for the carbon brakes, and and it came up to 72k. Well, not many owners, I don't think, went for the wheels or the brake upgrades, and what that's resulted in is that the cars were actually, in reality, much cheaper than the alleged 72k. And then Renault were doing also some really good promotions, and you could pick one of these up new at the time for just over 40k, and suddenly at that value, that's unbelievable, unbelievable value. And because they're so limited in number, you just think, do you know what, I don't think these will ever lose value. I genuinely don't think they'll ever lose value. Because they're too limited, they're too special. And the owner says when he goes to track days, it's people just drawn to it because they're just not seen, and people want to go out in it to show people what can a four-wheel drive car do. I'm just so pleased Renault have done this. And these will only be more and more desirable because Renault Sport won't exist in a matter of months. That's it. Renault Sport are finished. It's a sad day, but that's if that's going to happen, or when it happens. I just hope that whatever guise it comes in again will be better. So it's only been a short drive. You never really get to know the car. You'd have to take it on track, longer drive, but I'm so pleased I've had a brief chance to experience what this car is like. A big thanks to the owner, you know who you are, for letting me experience this. I just think cars like this, special cars like this, probably for me the king of front wheel drive hatches. I can say I've driven now the Renault Megane RS Trophy-R. Absolutely loved every minute of it. It feels special. It is special. It's a great car. And it's not just always about the power. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up, subscribe, stay tuned. Another video coming up really, really soon.